Feels so good to be back down here in the basement again. Today's video is a review. We're reviewing the PRX 712 JBLs, also known as the K12 killers. Alright guys, so these are the JBL PRX 712s. I've now owned these for probably going on 6 months now, so I've had them for a while. And actually the PRX 812s are already out, and they're exactly the same as the PRX 712s, hardware wise and physically sound wise. The only difference is they added the App Connect feature that is on the Eons. So the Eons are sitting right here, the two Eons. The way that you can go in and you can EQ your speakers via the app, they added those to the 812. So now the PRX 800 series is exactly the same as PRX 700 series, except you have the app now. Same wattage, same power, same everything. Just now you have an app to tune the speakers, so you don't have to use something like a DBX drive rack to do it. So if you guys are unfamiliar with my reviews, we do my reviews in 3 segments. So first we're going to start off with the specs right here. We're going to move on into a demo of these, which I don't know how, speaker demos are hard to do, given that sound is through this microphone, and we'll get to that later. And then lastly is my actual review of the speakers, what I personally think about them, K12 killers. But yeah, we'll get into that later. So if you want to skip to either series, the time things are beside them of what time you need to go to in the video. Alright guys, so like always, I'm going to be reading these specs directly off of JBL's website for you guys. So starting off here, this is a 1500 watt speaker, 1500 watt. Coverage pattern on this is a 90 degree by 50 degree field. Maximum SPL level of 135 dB. So starting off here, we got a 12-inch woofer down here for all your bass needs. Given it to 712, there's a 12-inch woofer. And then up top we have a 1.5-inch tweeter, which is incredibly loud. We'll get into that later. JBL has their Duraflex coating all around the JBL PRX 712, and all the PRX line do have these Duraflex coating, which has come in handy since I've chipped it in a few places due to abuse of it. So right here is the back of the JBL PRX 712, and the first thing I'll point out to you guys that's different from the 600 series is this is a fan. We have a fan cooled here. We got this nice air grade right here, so it pushes air in through the fan. This sucks air in, yes, and it pushes it out the top, so it circulates air across those cooling rails inside to keep that 1500 watt amp cooled. Moving in a little closer right here, we have a monitor to main switch, so you can run this thing in monitor mode. That's why it has on the side, it has rubber tips for you to put it into a monitor mode. Mine stay on main almost all the time. Over on the right, we have the front light indicator. You can turn the front light on and off, personal preference. On the middle here, we have the 2 knobs for the 2 inputs, which are down here. We have 1/4 inch and XLR combo ins, and we have gains for either one. You can also change either of those gains from a mic input to a line input as well. Over here on the right, we have a speaker select, so you can select what you want the speaker to run. Do you want the speaker to run just channel 1, just channel 2, or a mix of both? So say you run your right and left channels into this speaker, but you only want this to do your left channel, so you put down channel 1, and then you can select on your throughput what you want your through to be. Do you want the through to be just channel 1, just channel 2, or a mix? So you could potentially, if you ran both your right and lefts to this speaker, say this speaker's close to you, run both your right and lefts, leave it on channel 1 so you have only left coming through here, do your throughput to channel 2, and then your throughput port here, run that to your other channel, and that'll only be running channel right. Now right below that, at the XLR 1/4 inch combo, we have RCA inputs as well for any of you guys that have any of the smaller like Pioneer DJ mixer lines that have only RCA outs. These speakers do have RCA inputs for you as well. Lastly, there's just the AC power in and the power on and off switch. On the bottom, I want to talk quickly about how we have 2 pole inputs here. So we have a tilted down and a straight up normal one. The tilted down one is a great option if you're like set up high up as a DJ, say you're above on a balcony above everyone, Or say you're in a gymnasium and you get a lot of echoing coming from the speakers bouncing off the back walls. You can tilt these downward right into your crowd to terminate that sound to avoid that nasty echo. So lastly here, I'll say that the front is made of 16 gauge steel, which is very strong to protect your speaker on the inside. And we have a nice rubber molded handle here on the side. This is a very nice handle. If any of you guys have ever picked up any of the PRX JBL series, you'll know that these handles are amazing to carry with. There's only one handle. It's on the left side. If you're looking at the front of the speaker, it's on the left side, or if you're looking from the back, it's on the right side. So there's only one handle on this side. As you can see here, the other side has this angle on it, so that way you can use it as a monitor. There's also fly points all over this thing. There's 2 on the back here. I know there's 3 on top of it, so if you want to mount like a light to this speaker, which I do a lot, if you check out my other videos, you'll see that I mount my moving heads on top with these fly points all the time. And then overall, this speaker weighs 42.5 pounds. Alright, time for the demo. So I have everything set up here. We're going to be running this test with the PRX 712 up here, hooked up XLR right and left. The PRX 715 is down here just as a mount. The PRX 715 XLF is turned off, and if you guys haven't seen, I have a review for this subwoofer as well, so go check that out. We're going to be running this off of my VMS 4.1 American Audio, VMS 4.1, and Virtual DJ 8. Also, how I hook this speaker up is exactly according to my audio tips on how to hook up powered speakers, which you can go check that video out as well. Go check it out if you don't know how to set up powered speakers. So I'm going to be starting off here at like half volume, and then I'll work. I probably won't go to full volume. It's way too loud for full volume down here, like absurdly too loud. We're going to do half volume here. Let's get it going. That was half volume. Now, I'm going to get into this in the third segment, but these 712s don't have near enough bass for just running them as they are right now with a flat signal. So I'm going to redo that test, and I'm going to turn the bass to where I normally would have it if I was just running these. So I'm going to EQ it a little bit, which basically means I'm going to turn the bass up a little bit more. That's all I'm going to be doing here. So I'm going to turn the low knob on my VMS 4.1 up about a quarter turn, and that's normally what I like. That's what they sound. They sound so much better like that. So we're going to redo that test with a quarter thing. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but let's do it. And that's the test. That is completion of the demo for the 712s. As you can tell, they are absurdly loud. Alright, so this is my opinions, feelings on the PRX 712s, what I personally feel about them, and what I've come to know about them over the past 6 months or so that I've used them, which I use them every gig I go to anymore, every gig. My Eons sit here on the shelves. They never come out unless I have like a ceremony. As I've hinted at earlier, I kind of nicknamed these the QSC K12 killers, and there is strong resemblance for that. I have actually listened to these side by side beside a QSC K12 for all you guys who've ever heard of QSC K12 before, which they are just like the standard, I guess, in the industry. Everyone has them. A lot of people have them. But side by side with the QSC K12, this thing will destroy a QSC K12 when it comes to the high-end spectrum, the vocals, and the overall loudness that this speaker gets at high volumes. Now, if you compare the QSC K12 when it's on the deep mode, and producing decent bass, this one really can't hang as well when it comes to the bass. QSC K12 will be down the bass. If you do EQ this one, you can get it a lot closer to the K12, but I will give the K12 is a lot better in the bass department. Little side comparison there. Overall though, like I said, this speaker gets incredibly loud, and the tweeter in the top here, this 1.5 inch driver, absolutely destroys the crystal clarity of the high-end Spectrum. The vocals are so crystal clear and crisp at high volumes from that tweeter, even at low volumes. It's amazing to hear this speaker when it comes to overalls. It's just incredible. Personal thoughts on where you would use this speaker? Anywhere really. I use this speaker. Two of these PRX 712s are in my main setup. I bring them to every gig I do, but I do pair them with subwoofers because they just can't produce the bass. I pair these with my 715 XLF subwoofers, and these will actually, in some scenarios, these can get way louder than what my PRX 715 XLF subwoofers, my 15-inch subwoofers can get when it comes to getting to peak volume. But when I take these 712s out with my 618 XLFs, it's amazing to hear that combination. That is just the equal amount of bass combined with highs from these guys. Running a high pass filter to these guys so that they're not producing the bass that the 18-inch subwoofers are is incredible. If you do get these speakers and you want to run them just these two speakers, I don't recommend getting the 712s. I would get the 715, which sound-wise, I've actually heard both of those side by side. It's not really much of a difference, to be honest, but when you do crank or EQ the bass up a little bit more on the 715, you definitely can notice it over the 712s. Definitely can notice it. With that said though, if you do like kind of what I have, these fit my setup so well because I have I have 5 subwoofers actually, but I have 4 different sets of, or I have 2 different sets of subwoofers. So I have 15-inch subwoofers and 18-inch subwoofers, and these pair well with either set. But also, I do take these out by themselves to do just gigs with just the 712s. And like I said, I EQ the bass up a little bit and it works out great. I don't do it for big events, but little small gigs in that, I will just use the 712s. Overall, I can't say enough about these speakers. They are amazing. I'm blown every time I take these out and I do a sound check. I'm just blown away. I wish I had 2 more, to be honest. But for the money, if you already have subwoofers or you are planning on getting subwoofers very soon, I would highly recommend getting the PRX 712, JBL PRX 712. It's an amazing speaker. It'll work amazing for you guys. If you are planning on, if you're just like getting new speakers right now and you don't have any subs, no plans, just bump up to the 715 models. The high ends are just as loud, just as crisp on the 715 model as these 712s. And overall, it's just a very solid speaker. And for the money, I would spend my money on the JBL PRX 700 series, the 712, 715s, over getting 2 QSC K12s. Anyways, guys, that's all for my review on the PRX 712. If you have not subscribed yet, plenty of new videos coming out. There's new videos every week on this channel, reviews, demo videos, tip videos, DJ videos, new just DJ videos like crazy, gig logs, tons of stuff are on this channel. Hit that subscribe button, join the family. Be sure to like this video if you like this review. Comment below if you do have these speakers or if you heard them before. What do you guys think about them? Anyways, guys, my name is DJ Rick Webb. Keep them records spinning, and I'll see you guys next time.